Ladies and gentlemen, before a person makes a public address, or should I say human, makes a public address in this space, they have to get permission from the mayor. That's right. GLA, the scoundrel organisation that owns this space for some reason, says that you can't address the public without the permission of the mayor. Well, as I don't actually know I don't see the mayor as the mayor, to me, it's just a bloke. It's just a bloke that knew how to corrupt his way to the top of some dirty chain. So I'm going to ask the permission of some greasy, dirty scumbag, right, that managed to know how to step on a whole bunch of other people so that they could start becoming the mayor of London, whatever that is. So I'm afraid I won't be asking for permission, but I'm sure he'll get some of his little sheeple to come along and to tell me that I have to get permission before I do this. I think they're coming this way now, look. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to remind you that this is a virtual reality. None of what you see is what you think it is. And as we watch the guys in uniform come towards us, please understand that they are not really policemen. There is no such thing as a policeman. It is a made-up concept, and they have been given powers that you don't have. Watch them as they come towards me and try to force me to do something that you have no power to do, which means they don't have power to do it, because where would you get power when we are the ones that give them the power? We are the people that give them the power, therefore they cannot have more power than I do. And anyway, this is a virtual reality. This whole thing around you, everything you see, is actually just a projection from your mind. You are in a sophisticated, multi-dimensional computer system. This is a simulation game you are in. And what you are is your consciousness is attached to your body. You are not your body. You are not even your mind. You are an avatar playing a computer simulation game. You are part of the one consciousness, but you are having an experience which is attached to your physical body. In reality though, your physical body does not really exist in the way you think it does. It's made up of lots of ones and zeros. If you've ever played a computer simulation game, you will understand that the avatar itself in the computer game is not real. It's created by its creator. The same applies to you. You are not real in the way you think you are. This has extremely huge ramifications. One of them is to remember not to take yourself or life too seriously. People who wear uniforms like that, unfortunately, generally take it all so seriously because they have to hang on to the illusion that somehow, because they've got a white and black checkered hat on, that gives them some kind of authority over the rest of us. When you ask them a few questions though, you'll soon find out that they're on very, very shaky ground, morally speaking. Because doing as you're told without questioning is very naughty and dangerous. That's right, naughty and dangerous. And therefore, it's always a good idea, don't mess around with people with uniforms on, because they've completely lost it. You know, they've got into that delusion. You can see the work of Stanley Milgram. Stanley Milgram's work to see the effect of a bit of uniform and a couple of orders has on the average human being. So for example, these guys believe, or the one on the left actually believes, that he has the right to initiate violence against me, or the threat of violence against me, that none of you have the right to do. That is a form of delusion. Now he's taking out his little notebook. You should write this down in your notebook, sir. Where do you think you get the... Oh, sorry. Oh, he's taking notes from that bloke. So it's just a bit of paranoia I get sometimes when I take too many magic mushrooms. Now, ladies and gentlemen, officially speaking, you have to get permission to address the public from here. But that's only if you believe that there is such a thing as a mayor of London. As I don't recognise the whole idea of a mayor or a queen or anything else or a police officer, that's all made up. As I don't believe it, I'm not going to be able to ask permission, because who am I going to ask permission from? I might as well ask permission from you, sir. I think I'll do that, actually. Matt, can I have permission to do this?
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. Excellent. I'll tell that to these boys when they come. Gentlemen, he gave me permission to do this. He's also got a hat on, as do you. He's taken off. Does that mean you'll no longer speak to me as a police officer?
No, I'm still speaking to the police.
Oh, I'm afraid, sir. Would you come a little closer, please? Am I obliged to speak to you?
Yes, you can.
No, am I obliged to speak to you?
If you want to listen, listen.
Yes.
Do you want to listen?
Do I want to listen? Not really. Not when you're being a police officer. I don't want to listen. Why should I? Should I want to listen?
Do you want to listen to a human being?
Yes. Oh, you take your hat off and speak to me as a fellow human. Yes, I'd love to listen to you.
Alright, you're currently being recorded on a on camera, okay, so you don't have permission to obviously talk on a loud hailer, okay? You have to get permission to talk on a loud hailer here.
Under what law?
Yes, you do.
Under what law?
It's under the guidelines that obviously guide. Guidelines? Because you know, exactly.
Guidelines? No, you tell me.
Hang on a minute, you use the word guidelines. If you believe the guidelines, they're lines to guide yourself by.
At the moment, like I said,
Yeah.
we've got gentlemen coming across. If you want to get permission to actually talk here with a loud inhaler, you will need to. They're the bylaws,
Under what law?
They're the bylaws.
What's the wording of the law?
It's the bylaws of government.
What's the wording of the
Get
law?
the gentleman to give you the exact wording. You do not trust me.
No, it's not that I don't trust you. It's just that
Respect to one another.
it's not about trusting you. It's
Okay.
about firstly, they're bylaws.
But like I said, you
don't-
said this is all a virtual reality, so this isn't even happening.
No, this is not happening.
So there's no point for you to speak on the loud inhaler.
Well,
This
there
all
is and there
virtual
isn't.
reality.
No.
It's all-
Now, ladies and gentlemen, he said this is a virtual reality, therefore there's no reason for me to speak on the megaphone. But it is a virtual reality, and you're not really a policeman, right? I don't know what your first name is. My first name is Danny. What's your first name?
My first name is
Your
Ryan.
Ryan, lovely to meet you, Ryan. You've obviously got mixed up with a bunch of unusual people who like to dress up and tell other people what to do. Now listen, I've asked you what the wording of the bylaw that you're trying to use to control me, not that I will listen to it anyway. What's going to happen if I don't do what the bylaw says, sir? Can you tell me? Ladies and gentlemen, watch what's going on here. This man is lost and he thinks he has the authority to do something that none of you have the authority to do, which is to threaten me with violence, in order to make me move somewhere else. Yes, what's the bylaw?
Am I threatening him in any way?
Yes, you are, because let me ask you a question. What if I don't do what you tell me to do? What are you going to do?
Alright.
What are you going to do if I carry on doing what I'm doing, regardless of you pretending that you can order me about, right? What are you going to do?
No, let's just set out the bylaws.
No. First tell me, before we read the bylaws, what are you going to actually do? Yeah, I'll tell you what, listen, I'll tell you what. I'm going to count to 30 and I'll give you 30 seconds to decide what you're going to do if I disobey you. Because I just see you as another fellow human being, and if this man here was to come and tell me to get down, I'd say, I'm really sorry. If you have a problem with me being here, that's your problem. Sort it out with your psychotherapist.
He's supposed to provide the authorised officer the power to seize and retain items if it appears that the item has been used or has been used in connection with a breach of trading bylaw described above. Have you got permission to speak here using your bylaw, sir? Are you going to speak to me?
Where does it say that I have, firstly, where does it say that I have broken any laws?